She actually believed at that point that whatever was in that house was trying to hurt us now.
I didn't take her to the doctor. I did not call the police. I was afraid that the police would think I had done that to my daughter. I'm sorry. When stuff like that is happening and you don't know how to help your kid, you're with her. When they're getting attacked and when you're stuck in a situation. Where do I take my kids? I can't just afford to just move.
I started talking to a few of my closest friends. I wouldn't tell just anybody what was happening because I didn't want them to think I was crazy.
She came to school and she was crying. We went into the bathroom and she was showing me all these scratches on her back.
She looked at me and she's like, I know what you mean. And I'm like, well, how do you know what I mean? I'm like, you don't know what I mean at all. She's like, no, I knew the boy who lived in the house before we moved there. And it kind of stopped me in my tracks. She gave me the number to the boy. I called him. We talked for maybe 5 minutes. He's like, everything you said is identical to what happened to us. Get out of that house. It's gonna hurt you. Get out. And he hung up.
I didn't want to believe that the house I just purchased was haunted. I didn't want to believe it was happening to us. I had called Chris and Shelley, and they said they would be right there.
We began a little over 4 years ago. Up until that point, we had never had a case where someone had been physically harmed by an entity. It had always been our experience that ghosts don't really mean any harm, but apparently whatever was in this house had other intentions.
Chris and Shelley asked if we could leave the house for a few hours so they could just, you know, do everything themselves without us being there.
When we got to the house, Chris instantly went into investigator mode and set up cameras. It was go time.
We brought 3 infrared cameras, 2 handheld video cameras, EMF meters, infrared thermometers, and audio recorders.
61.8. The dogs met us outside and they were fine with us, playing with us, loving with us. And then you go in the house, their demeanor instantly changes. I witnessed the dogs freaking out to nothing. Nothing was there. So I definitely believe that they knew something was wrong.
We were pretty much centered on Cassie's room. We made sure that the room was fairly well covered because that's where the activity happens.
We set all the gear up, and another investigator and myself were upstairs getting readings, taking some EVPs. Okay. And it was at this point when the back of my neck and head felt like it was on fire. It felt so cold that it burned. It was the coldest chill I had ever experienced, worse than when you're sick with a really bad cold. And all of a sudden, there was just sheer pain. It felt like somebody had just scratched me with a garden tool. My first thought was, holy crap, what was that? And I said, my neck is burning. I think I was scratched.
Sure enough, she had marks across the back of her neck.
Chris said, are you okay? And I said, no, I'm not. I was overwhelmed. I didn't know exactly what to think.
She ended up with marks across the front of her chest, too.
I couldn't believe that something that wasn't there actually left marks on my body. I refused to go back in the house. I refused to go back inside.
I was like, holy cow, what are we doing? What have we gotten ourselves into? It was definitely the most intense case that we've ever done.
I don't think I'll ever forget this case.
We came back to the house, and I could tell that Shelley was visibly upset. Chris proceeded to tell me that Shelley had been in Cassandra's room and that she had gotten attacked. I just wanted my daughters out of there, and I was kind of like stuck in a situation that I was scared to bring them back in.
As mean as it sounds, I was happy. It was like somebody else knows what happened. Somebody else felt what I felt, that I'm not crazy, that it didn't just happen to me.
I knew immediately after I saw the gouges on her, I knew we were leaving that house.
That's when Amanda said we could go stay with her.
I had every intention of just leaving everything. I'm done. I'm not ever coming back to this place. Before we left, I laid the Bible on top of the refrigerator.
We packed up some of their stuff and the dogs, and we all went back to my house.
Amanda lives in an apartment. Not a whole lot of room in there, but she was willing to let me bring the dogs.
Me, my sister, and my mom all slept in this little itty-bitty living room, basically on a blanket. It was hectic. There was no room to move. It got really cramped really fast.
It was a little chaotic. My cat wasn't very happy.
The cat did not like dogs. And Amanda said, I hate to say this, but they can't stay here. I didn't know what to do with them. I couldn't afford to put them in a kennel. I didn't have the funds available to me to take them anywhere. And it's not like I just had one dog to worry about. I had 3.
We brought them back to the house, and we left them there. And it was heartbreaking. All these images kept coming to my mind that it could kill them without even thinking about it, basically. They're so small.
I was petrified that they were not going to be alive when I came back.
When I walked into the door, the cupboard doors were open and everything was scattered on the floor. You'd walk into the living room, all the movies were thrown all over the place. It looked like a tornado had gone through in there.
At first, when Ashley told us that the house was torn apart, we're like, oh, well, the dogs just did it. They're just mad because we're gone. But the top cupboards, there's no way the dogs could have opened them.
The first time that I stepped one foot back in that house, the hair on the back of my neck just stood up.
Stuff was everywhere. It looked like somebody had attacked our house.
The Bible that I had put on top of the refrigerator was laying in between the kitchen and the dining room with pages ripped out of it.
We all thought, well, it was probably the dogs.
We examined it and realized that there weren't teeth marks in the Bible at all. There's no way the dogs could have ripped that up.
Whatever was in that house was trying to let me know, don't come back here. God can't help you.